Hi everyone, it's me Zeta. First of all, before I start answering the questions, I'd like to thank you all for both 1,000, which is huge. I think that's enough people for a small town, which is crazy. I can't visualize 1,000 properly. But also thank you for coming to this little live stream. So I think I can't thank you enough. It's great. So I think I'll answer the questions on the Twitter thread first, and then I'll go and answer the ones in the Discord channel, and then we'll see if there's any questions for the chat. I'm a I'm a bit better at this since I did the 500 at holding a conversation since I did the 500 stream, but I'm still a bit awkward with just trying to maintain a conversation by myself. So I will start with the Twitter thread questions, and the first 11 are from Inky, who are from Inky, who's an amazing person, very supportive, and she's written a script for me which I'll record sometime soon, but I'm not going to reveal anything else about that yet. So the first question from Inky is, do I prefer going to the movies, or do I prefer watching them at home? I prefer watching them at home, but yeah, I prefer watching them at home because, yeah, actually thinking about it, I do like going to the movies, but I just don't really have. I don't really usually have anyone to go to the movies with. So I usually watch movies at home, but if I'm ever asked to go see it in a cinema, I would. Which meal is my favorite? My favorite. Which meal? Our second question is, which meal is my favorite? Hi Crystal. Hi Inky. Hi Kira. Hi McLaren. Hi everyone else. Our second question is, which meal is my favorite? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and why? I'd say it's a couple of years ago I would have said breakfast, but I don't really. I've been skipping breakfasts a lot more lately because I just wake up so late. I'd say lunch. I'd say lunch is my favorite meal because pre-pandemic I'd go out and I'd get something like different for lunch every day, whereas I'm not really sure why, but it's like I'm not sure. Dinner's great as well, but lunch is because like you can have big lunches, you can have small lunches, you can. Lunch is probably the widest window that's acceptable to eat them at than the other two meals, so you just get more variety with lunches than you do with breakfasts or dinners. Inky's third question is, do I have any pet peeves? Uh, yes, particular things like I really don't like people who walk slow, especially when I get stuck behind. People who walk slow tend to move in massive, tend to move in packs that block your path. Uh, I'm about to go. I'm going to stop myself there before going on a massive rant about people who walk slowly. That is my main pet peeve. I've a few other pet peeves. Like there's certain. It's gonna sound like such an oddly specific one because I don't think I've heard anyone else having this. But when When people when certain fabrics rub against brick, it makes this really annoying noise that I can only describe as the opposite of an ASMR tingle, uh, which I really really don't like. It's I see a lot of people don't like the slow walkers in the chat either. It's uh, yeah, slow walkers are uh, which that last one that last pet peeve I mentioned that's the opposite of the I don't even think there's a word for like that kind of noise that's like the opposite of an ASMR tingle. It's but that leads perfectly into Inky's. That sort of leads into Inky's fourth question, which is what's my favorite ASMR trigger? I don't really listen to the tingle type ASMR as much as I listen to the roleplay type stuff. But I do listen to it occasionally. I do listen to it occasionally. I'd say my favorite is, uh, a few of them where I was gonna demonstrate it, but I don't really have a bottle small enough to do it. But it's like, it's sort of like water swishing about in a bottle. I would demonstrate it, but I don't have a water bottle small enough to do it. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, metal rubbing together is a pretty big peeve of mine. By the way, Omibri, I'm running through the Twitter thread questions and the Discord channel thread questions before I take any questions from the chat. So if you save that question for, please save that question for later. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, metal rubbing together cringy is that also has a similar effect, but to the jacket sound screeching against like brick noise, but like that one, like the jacket noise against brick is like the main. I don't have a word for it. It's ugh. Anyway, Inky's fifth question. If I could, yeah, Inky's fifth question. If I could collaborate on a big project like a half a year type series with any VAs, who would I want to work with? And it can be more than one person. And what kind of series would I want it to be? I'm not. Uh, hmm. Let's see. A big project. I'd be happy to work with basically anyone on a big project, but I'd have to say I don't want to say anyone in case anyone feels left out. But if I had to pick, Eris, mm, hmm, Pinecat, I'd love to work with if she ever notices me. Uh, uh, audio arch- audio archivist. I would like to work with. Uh, but I'd happily just work with anyone on a massive project like that. And what kind of series would I want it to be? I think I'd like it to either be a sci-fi series or a fantasy series. But I'm not 100%. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on like what like it to be in detail, but I'd definitely like it to be either a fantasy series or a sci-fi series. Uh, Inky's sixth question. She gave me a lot of questions. In any of the stories or scripts I've voiced so far, what do I consider to be my favourite line? I think it would have to be the precious, not the precious little. I forget what the exact. One second, I'm gonna bring up the script so I can get the line perfectly. Picture Zeta. What was it? I didn't save the script for part one. That's can't bring up the script so I can. Some work in progress script. Yeah, I didn't save the script for part one, so that's a bit. So I can't get the line. One second, maybe it's in Vampire Hunter. I can't find. Nah, I can't find the. Can't find the script, so I'm gonna have to try and do it from memory. It's I'm gonna have to try and remember it from memory. It's the from the first William audio, the first vampire werewolf listener one. It's the something like hold still my delicate little flower or something. Forget what the exact line is, but I really like that one. A few more people have joined to say congrats, so thank you, McLaren. Thank you, Toga. Is that how that's pronounced? Since Inky left a lot of questions, I'm gonna stop here after question 6 and then come back to her later, just so we're breaking up to a few different people rather than just doing the massive block of all of Inky's questions in one go. Tlone asks, "How am I so pretty?" The answer to that is I'm not. And what is my most memorable life experience? What's my most memorable life experience? I suppose it would. I suppose my most memorable life experience would have to be when I was 12 and I was diagnosed as autistic, which it was a pretty big. It was. Now the chat's just calling me pretty because I said I wasn't. My most memorable life experience was probably when I was 12 and I was diagnosed as autistic, which it's kind of a massive trying to word it but also not just pausing to think about it is pretty because I need to keep rambling about something to. So I'm trying to think of things to say in the immediate and answers to the. Trying to think of immediate things to say and answers to the question at the same time is it's a pretty hard balancing act that I haven't quite mastered yet. Yeah. I'm basically just gonna give up on trying to explain why it was such an impactful moment, but basically a large portion of my identity as a person is based on not based on the fact that I'm autistic, but like stems from it. Like if like, I don't know how to explain it. Ice Cold asks, "How do I feel about overtaking Gordon Ramsay as his favourite Scottish person?" Uh, I don't think I've ever been someone's favourite Scottish person before, so I'm pretty happy about that. To do. Greenbrier Audio, who is a great VA, as asked me a few questions. The next four. If I had infinite luck and no one would tell me no, what would I do? Well, the easiest answer to that question of infinite luck and no one would tell me no is just with infinite luck. The easiest answer to that is just go and gamble, because if you've got infinite luck, you're never gonna lose. I am now two people's favourite Scottish person. This is now two people's favourite Scottish person. Ah, can we get to three or four people's favourite Scottish person? uh, uh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, the easiest answer to having infinite luck, what would I do with infinite luck, is to gamble. Is the answer to that is gambling, because if you have infinite luck, you're never going to lose. Uh, uh, Her next question is, what would I do if someone recognised my voice in public? I don't know what I'd do. It would be so weird. I think I'd just melt if someone recognised my voice in public. That would be great. Like, are we talking like if a random person recognised my voice, or if someone I know, vaguely know, recognised my voice and connect? Because like, if it was a random person who just recognised my voice, I don't know how I would react. But if it was someone I know who stumbled across my channel and recognised my voice, I'd probably just melt. I'd probably just melt. Yeah. Uh, she also asks, would I rather talk to animals or be able to teleport? I suppose teleportation would be the more useful of the two. But I'd just waste. Teleportation would be the most useful of the two, but I'd probably just waste it doing random shit like teleporting to the fridge in the middle of the night. Uh, uh, talking to animals would probably be a lot more interesting though, because I could finally figure out what I'd probably figure out why my dog does half of the idiot things my dog does, as if I could talk to animals. So yeah, I'd go with I'd rather talk to animals. Thank you, Luxius. Thank you. Hydro King has three questions. His first question is, two of them are Doctor Who questions, which I'm half considering just saving all the Doctor Who questions to one go because once I get started on that, I just won't stop. Uh, let's see. If I could live on it, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna answer them all in one. I'm not just gonna answer all. I'm gonna try not to go on a massive Doctor Who rant. His first question is, if I could live on any of the worlds in Doctor Who, including the ones that have been destroyed, which one would it be? Which I'm just gonna. I'm not sure. I'd have to pick one that. Yeah, Crystal. Animals are puzzling. Yeah. If I could live on any of the worlds from Doctor Who, including ones that have been destroyed, which one? I immediately want to say Gallifrey, but then I remember. Then I remember Gallifrey isn't actually that great a place to live. Which you wouldn't get if you'd only watched the new series. But yeah, Gallifrey isn't actually a great place to live at all. Maybe the Eye of Orion, but then again, that was just the Eye of Orion was just a Dalek weapons testing facility, and it was revealed to be that in Dark Eyes, so maybe not. All the nice planets to live on Doctor Who are secretly massive hellscapes and behind the scenes. Definitely not Mondas or Skaro. Maybe New Earth, depending on when. Yeah, I'm gonna go with New Earth. New Earth. His second question is there a Doctor Who villain that actually scares me? When I was a kid, the Weeping Angels were completely terrifying. Yeah, when I was a kid, they were terrifying. Not so much anymore. If we stick to the main show, I suppose. Thank you, Clover. Thank you. If we stick to the main show, I suppose the Midnight Entity is pretty terrifying. But when I was a kid, the Weeping Angels gave me nightmares, so they don't really scare me anymore. But it's more things like the Midnight Entity, and if we go into the spin-offs, the 456, or I'm going to say the 456. The 456 are terrifying. The 456 were the main villains of Torchwood Season 3. I can't really talk about why the 456 are so terrifying because it's a massive spoiler. But yeah, the 456 are. If we want to go even deeper in Expanded Universe, Nah, I don't think anything deeper in the Expanded Universe really tops the 4-5, at least not that I've read to. Nothing really tops the 4-5-6 in the Expanded Universe. And his third question is, has Hydro King always been my favourite ASM artist, or is that a new thing? Well, I'm not going to say it's a new thing, but I'm going to say you can't have always been my favourite ASM artist because I've been listening. Yeah, Crystal, Lavash and Narada are they scared me as a kid, but yeah, I'm not gonna say Hydra King has always been my favorite ASM artist. I hate that Hydra King's forced me into this situation because I can't just say he's not my favorite, but oh, for fuck's sake. So I think we'll go back to Inky's questions and then go down to the rest of the Twitter thread questions. Inky's seventh question was, she knows that I'm going to. Hi, Jess. Jess. I'm just gonna call you Jess. Yeah, Hydro King's great, but he's forced me into a situation where he's asked me why he's my favorite. Hydro King's great, but I I can't just say he's not my favorite, but I can't say he is my favorite either because other ASMR artists are watching. Ah, can't see. Uh, so Inky knows that I've grown to love voice acting, so she's curious as to what reason would make me stop. I'd say the only real reason why I would stop is if it stops being fun, which might happen. Probably won't, but it might. It's really the only. Outside of something like a freak accident that renders me unable to talk, it stopping being fun is really the only reason I would stop. So, yeah. Uh, uh, she also asked, what was the aha moment that finally made me decide to yes, I will do this thing. I assume she's talking about starting the channel, which there wasn't really an aha moment. It was more of a slow. It was more of a slow. I could maybe do this. I could maybe do this. It looks like fun. Yeah, I'll give it a try. And okay, I don't really know how to write a script yet, so I'll just sort of leave it for now, and then left it for a few more months, and then I found the ASMR Script Haven subreddit, which people are posting scripts for me to do. I suppose I can go and start it now, which so I did. There wasn't really a big aha moment that made me decide yes, I'm going to start being a VA. So, uh, and her ninth question is, okay, we all know burnout is real. So what do I do to stay in the creative zone and still get excited with voice acting? I haven't really had burnout for this yet, so I don't really know what I'd do for to stay in that zone. I haven't had burnout for this yet. Uh, Unintentional ASMR of me pouring water from a bottle into a cup. There we go. That can go back to another one of my favorite triggers from one of the previous questions. Uh, uh, what equipment would I invest in if I had $500? I think $500 is about. I think it's about £400. I definitely get a proper recording booth with that kind of money. I think I'm not sure how much that would cost. But yeah, I think the next if I had if I had uh, I think I don't know how much a proper recording booth would cost, but I think that would be like the next thing I would invest in because I've already got like a good microphone. Blue Yeti is It's not. I know they're not the best microphones out there, but they are pretty good for like beginner stuff. So yeah, I think the next real thing I would invest in is a proper like recording booth rather than just sitting on the floor with a mattress to sound dampen. Uh, and Inky's 11th question, which is her last one. Uh, are there any big plans for my channel this year, regardless of my sub count? Uh, Outside of finishing the Vampire and Vampire Hunter series, outside of finishing that, I don't really have anything big planned. I've got a couple like individual audios planned, but I don't have any like new series planned for after that. Probably do probably do more series set in the same universe because if you didn't, I've only said this in one of the video's descriptions, but all that universe is based on this massive daydream universe which I've been building up for a very long time. There are definitely more stories to tell in that universe. But I don't really have anything in particular planned for after I finish that. So now we can go back to questions from other people. From Imagine VA, do I like food? I do indeed like food. Don't really know what else to say for that. I do indeed like food. Eternal Nox, who's another ASM artist, has asked me where did the name Zeta come from. I'm pretty sure I explained it in my 500 live stream, but I don't think I did a good job at explaining it there. So I'm happy someone's asked it again, so I can explain it again. Basically, yeah, I like food. Basically, the name Zeta. Originally, before I was into ASMR, I was in a Discord server with someone who used the name Zeta, and basically he, for whatever reason, like when we didn't really like we were on close terms with each other, but we didn't really like trust each other, and for whatever reason he needed an email address from me. I don't exactly remember why, but so I jokingly basically came up with a fake email address that was oh, I'm not giving you my real email address, Zeta. Or, like, when I answered this question in the 500 live stream, I almost accidentally leaked that email address, which I do use for the Zeta account. But yeah. I basically gave him a fake email address, which told him I'm not giving you my real email address. And that was kind of a joke I did with him a few times after that. And eventually I set it up as a real email address for just to take the joke a little bit further, and that kind of went unused until that email address just kind of sat there in my Google account menu, completely unused until I was getting into ASMR. Yes, Inky, this is a real story. This is where I got the Zeta name from. So that email address just kind of sat unused in my Google account list for a while, until I started getting into ASMR roleplays and stuff. And basically, at the time I was subscribing to them on my main Google account, but then at one point I decided that since I only listen to role plays when I'm about to go to bed, that I should probably like keep them in a separate accounts subscription box, and for that I set up a YouTube account with the Zeta because it was an email address that was just sitting there completely unused. I decided to use the email address I set up as a joke. Uh, that same email address that was because it was just sitting there completely unused, and the original name of this account was something like I'm not Zeta. Or the YouTube account attached to this email address was something like I'm not Zeta or something like that. But then I later shortened that to just Zeta. Which of course, when I started the channel, I just thought, since I thought I was only going to do one or two scripts to just see how I like doing it, I just thought might as well just use the one that the Zeta account that I used to subscribe to all the VAs, because I wanted to keep them separate, because in a separate sub box. Might as well just use the account I used to subscribe to all the other VAs, because there's no point in setting up a new one for what I thought at the time was only going to be 2 or 3 videos. So yeah, so that was basically a long-winded way of saying I sort of unintentionally stole the name Zeta from someone who probably doesn't even listen to ASMR roleplays. However, if he does stumble across this channel, he probably knows who I am now. He probably knows who I am now. So, if you ever stumble across this Q&A over Zeta, hi. Rose, who I'm pretty sure is Jorno's girlfriend, has asked me, are there any VAs I want to collaborate with currently? As I said for Inky's question, I will collab with basically anyone. I will collab with basically anyone, but once again, I'm basically just going to list the same three names: Eris, Pinecat, and Audio. Yeah, Crystal is the best backstory ever. Is the best backstory ever. Yeah. Are there any VAs I want to collab? Yeah, I'm just basically for the any VAs I want to collab with currently. I'm just gonna list the same names of Eris, Pinecat, and Audio Archivist. Obviously but I will happily collab with basically anyone. And do I have a favorite? Do I have a favorite voice that I like to do? Well, I only really do 2 voices. Well, I've only ever actually done 3 voices, which would be my normal voice, the fake American accent, and the voice I did for the human sacrifice ASMR. For Alvarius, I'd say my normal voice is probably my favorite one to do when I'm talking, but I'm a lot happier when I'm editing when videos where I do the American accent, because yeah, I can already hear Eris shouting at me in Spanish for saying this, I can already hear, even though I haven't said it yet, I can already hear the chat typing away. I know your voice is great, because I don't really like my own voice, and uh, I can already hear you all typing away. No, his voice is great. Your voice is great. But the thing is, nobody really likes their own. I'm going into a tangent about how nobody really likes their own voice because it never sounds like you expect it to sound. Uh, uh, yeah, just nobody likes their own voice. It's perfect. It's perfectly okay that I don't like my own voice. You don't need to remind me that my voice is great or anything. Just just let me accept the fact that I don't like my own voice, and nearly nobody does. Yeah, but the American act. I don't know how you got here, Coco. I don't know how you got here. Uh, but yeah, the American accent is it's probably the easiest for me to edit because I'm not internally cringing at the fact that my voice doesn't. Because I'm not internally cringing at the fact that I don't like my voice when I do the fake American accent. Uh, yeah. Uh, 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 Kira asked me if she were to visit Scotland now, what local dish would I recommend she tries first? It's not really a dish, but shortbread's nice. Try shortbread. It's more of a biscuit than a dish, but it's really good. Uh, and do I think Mel Gibson did justice to the Scottish accent in Braveheart? Which don't get me started on Braveheart. His his attempt at a Scottish accent isn't awful, but it's not great either. But that's far from the biggest problem with Braveheart. And if I start on, I'm not even going to start on the historical inaccuracies in Braveheart because it's even worse than talking about Doctor Who. I just won't stop because that movie, ugh. They left the bridge, which was vitally important to the tactics of the Battle of Stirling Bridge. They left the bridge out of the Battle of Stirling Bridge. Just oh my fucking just yeah. Mel Gibson's attempt at a Scottish accent in that movie it's hardly the biggest problem I have with that movie. It's not awful, but it's not an awful attempt at a Scottish accent, but it's not great either. I'm not. I'm trying to not to go on a massive rant about that movie. Uh, oh my god. Trying not to go on a massive rant about Braveheart at the moment. So I'll just move on to crayons. Uh, it's uh, do I like cats? I mean, I used to not like cats, but I've kind of warmed up to them a bit. I'm, I don't I don't hate cats, but like I don't know what I'd do with them because I've never had a cat. I've never had a friend that has a cat. Uh, I just don't know what to do with a cat. I just don't know what to do with a cat. So just don't know what to do with a cat. Uh, I'd say I'm neutral to cats. I'd slightly shifted to uh, slightly shifted towards liking them, but like, yeah, cats exist. The cats are cute, they exist, but I don't know what to do with one. No, Crystal, I'm not gonna throw a cat. I'm not gonna throw it. I wouldn't throw it. uh, have I ever encountered something strange recently? Um, I don't think I've encountered anything strange recently. Uh, hmm. Then again, I haven't really encountered much of anything recently because pandemic. So, uh, no, I don't think I've encountered anything strange recently. So, and Crayon's third question was, what software do I use to edit my audios and videos? Basically, I use Audacity to uh, record and then edit the audio part of the videos, and then I make up the thumbnail and the visual parts of it in Paint.net. And then I combine the visual element to the audios in a video editor called OpenShot. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure I haven't missed out any of the questions in the Twitter thread quickly. I think that's all of the questions in the Twitter thread. Yeah. So I'll move on to the questions in the Discord chat. There's a few new ones in there since last time I checked. Okay. So I'll start with the questions in the Discord channel. The first few questions are from Kota VA, who is another ASM artist. I recommend you go and check him out. I recommend you go and check him out. I'll drop the link to his channel in the or at least 1 second. I'll drop the link to his channel in, or I would drop the link to his channel if he had it attached to his Discord account. Let me check if that's just a streamer mode thing. Disable streamer. Yeah, I would link his channel in the chat if it was attached to his Discord account, but it isn't. So I'm sure you'll find him if you just search Kota VA. So what are my hobbies? I suppose this is my main hobby at the moment. But yeah, I suppose this is my main hobby at the moment. Yeah, other hobbies, gaming. I don't know if daydreaming counts as a hobby, but it's something I do a lot. So we'll also add that to the answers to that question. I just like to walk about daydreaming. If I'm doing something that doesn't a task that doesn't really require me to think about it, my brain just automatically goes into daydreaming mode. But Kota's second question is, what is/was my dream job? I'm not 100% sure what field I'd like to go in, but something related to science. I'm a biology student, so yeah, I'd like to work to something science related. His next questions are: do I like golf and do I like football? No, I'm not really a sports person. Do I like video games? And if so, what video games? I do like video games. I like strategy games. I like RPGs. Uh, like the Dragon Age trilogy is great. If you haven't played the Dragon Age trilogy, you should go and play those. They're great games. He's also asked who inspired me, which is a massive list. That is a massive list of basically every VA that I've listened to. Basically every VA that I've listened to has inspired me at least a tiny bit. So, what inspires me? Hmm. Um, I'm assuming Kota means that what inspires me when I'm like try, I'm assuming what he means like what inspires me when I'm writing. Hmm. Which most of the scripts that I've written are are based on daydreams that I've had, which like, like the yeah or like and trying to figure out what inspires the daydreams is that's going to be like written through basically everything because like, especially the daydream world that I've based that I'm that basically I'm adapting the daydream to audio for the Vampire Hunter series. A lot of things have inspired that. Uh, what, what, so yeah, both the who inspired me and the what inspires me is they're both massive lists. I can't the they're both massive lists that I can't really hope to entirely do off the top of my head on a live stream where I need to get through several other questions. Uh, the Who are my favorite VAs or ASM artists? I would say Eris is one of my favorites. Pinecat is. Uh, hmm. Urban Nymph. Cardlin. I don't really like picking favorites because, especially when it's real people, it feels kind of like mean to pick a favorite when it's real people, but the ones I just listed there are the ones I'll say are my favorites. The next questions are hi Sin. Hi Sin. The next questions are from Maddie the Ducky. First of all, uh, she wanted to say congrats on 1K. Thank you. I don't know if you're in chat or not, but if you are, thank you. Her first question is. Are there any books that I'm currently reading, and what are they? There there are two books that I'm currently reading, which the first of which is the first of which is a Doctor Who book. Surprise, surprise, surprise. The Time Worm quadrilogy for from the Doctor Who New Adventures, which uh, yeah, the Time Worm quadrilogy. I'm currently on Time Worm Exodus, which has been good so far. It's brought back a certain character from the '60s, which uh, if I meant if I mention the name of that character in certain Doctor Who circles, it will start an argument, which is always fun. Uh, 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 what what's my her second question is what's my oh yeah, the second book I'm reading at the moment is a George Joestar, which is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure spin-off novel, but I've really been enjoying that one so far. But I've been really slow at reading it because I'm reading it with a few friends over Discord, so we can only really read chapters when we're all available. Uh, I think we finished chapter 4 last time we got together to read. So, but yeah, with progress of reading that's been unfortunately very slow because we all need to be available for that. What's my favourite book that I've read? Surprisingly, it's not a Doctor Who book. It's a Star Wars book, Darth Plagueis, which uh, I love the Darth Plagueis book. I love how, especially the last third of the book, really just ties in parallel with so much Star Wars expanded universe stuff. Uh, but it's not so tied in that you need to know all of it to understand the book itself. I just love the Darth Plagueis book. It's great. Maddie's third question is, what is something inspired? I think he's a Star Wars fan as well. But anyway, our third question is something inspiring that someone told me that will stick with me forever. Hmm. I suppose can't really say who told me this because hmm. Huh. Hmm. I'm doing that thing where I stop to think without saying anything again, and I'm worried that that might bore people. I can't really think of answers to the question while I'm rambling to to keep you interested. Something inspiring. I suppose. Can't really say who told me this, uh, because it's yeah, I can't really say who told me this, but I don't remember the exact words he used. But it was basically, if you want to do something, if you want to do something, you should do it regardless of what people think. Uh, and he worded it a lot better than that, but that was the general gist of it. Uh, I'm not really an eloquent person with trying to remember exactly how he worded it. It was worded a lot better than that when he said it. Uh, Maddie's don't remember how many questions she's asked so far. Let's. But her next question is, do I have any pets? And hi Arya, hi Arya. Uh, do I have any pets? And if I do, what kind of pet is it? And what's its name? I do have a dog. I have a dog called Azuri. She's a Weimar a Weimarmer. She's called Azuri, and uh, got her shortly before Christmas. She's a big idiot. She's a big idiot. Uh, I've had lots of dogs in the past. Yeah, I've had lots of dogs in the past. Uh, Azuri's the latest of many. I've loved all of them, of course, but things happen, don't they? How often do I get writer's block? I get writer's block a lot. I get writer's block a lot, which is why probably only about a quarter of the scripts I use are written by me. Probably less than a quarter actually, but yeah, I get writer's block a lot. Um, what's something I love about starting my channel? Ooh. Um, hmm. Well, firstly, lets me. It's it's been a lot of fun. That's something I love about it. But it's something I've really loved about it is it's let me meet a lot of let me like meet a lot of people that I really look up to. It's let me meet a lot of people that I really look up to. It's let me help out people who look up to me and who I wouldn't have looked up. Like a couple people who've looked up to me that I wouldn't have looked up to me if I didn't start it, which is it's great. I've been talking for about an hour straight. Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. It's let me meet a lot of cool people who I both look up to, and people uh, who looked up to me. It's even though I've only written a few scripts for my channel, I'm a lot better at. I at least like to think I'm a bit better at writing than I was when I hadn't written any scripts at all, which is great. It's even though I still don't really like my own voice. Please don't shout at me for saying I don't like it. Refer to the rant I had earlier. I'm at least a tiny bit more comfortable with my voice now than I was when I started the channel. Uh, yeah. What's my favorite video and my least favorite video that I've made? My favorite video is you're in for a big surprise here. It's the Doctor Who video. I personally think that's my best performance. I personally think that's the best thing I've written. I love that as a chat. The chat's Crystal. Yeah, regardless of the fact whether my voice is nice or not, I still don't like it. Most people don't like their own voices. refer to the rant I had when I brought this up earlier, please. But yeah, the Doctor Who video is it's probably my best performance that I've done. At least I think it's my best performance. It's probably, I think it's the best thing I've written. It's it took a lot of like there are a lot of sound effects in that video, so it's probably the most impressive I've done editing wise. I'm just proud of the Doctor Who video on basically so many levels possible. My least favorite video that I've made would be it would probably be the escaping the space station one. That one was just a rushed improv based on a dream I had that the same day that I put it out. I could have done that one a lot better if I let the idea sit with me for a while. Yeah, that one's probably my least favorite video that I've done. So that's all of Maddie's questions. We've got one from Evil Sea Cow Audios, who is another VA you should check out. I did one video on I did one video as a collab with him, and he has one video as a collab with him. So yeah, go and check Evil Sea Cow out. He's asked what made Doctor Who such an interesting series to me, which means I now have to explain the Doctor Who addiction, which yeah, I have to explain the Doctor Who thing now. Basically, I love the idea that the show can do basically anything. It can do any setting, any genre. Thank you, Giggy. Yeah, Doctor Who can do any show, any setting, any genre, basically any story. So it's I maintain the idea that there is at least one episode of Doctor Who for everyone, but also the character of the Doctor themselves is. I love the idea that of regeneration is such a great idea as well, because it allows for so many different takes on the same core character, but different the superficial parts of their personality changed, which is just great for storytelling, because you've got at the moment there are 13 main versions of the Doctor, with each with unique personalities traits which explore different aspects of the Doctor's core personality in different ways. But then you've also got things like the Unbound series, which what if you change a tiny bit of the core personality of the Doctor but keep the superficial stuff of a Doctor the same, like with the Unbound Doctor from Full Fathom 5, who is basically the same as the Seventh Doctor, but he's willing to go a lot further than the Seventh Doctor. And the Seventh Doctor was willing to go quite far as well. I'm going into a massive rant about the Doctor Unbound series now. This is why I should have saved all the Doctor Who questions for last. So we'll reel back to Seacow's question, which is, yeah, there's also something a sense of optimistic, like the idea of the Doctor as someone who shows up, solves the problems just out of the kindness of his own heart, of their own hearts. Hearts is such a nice, optimistic, like the fact that the Doctor isn't really particularly motivated by like anything like Batman's death, like the death of Batman's parents or Spider-Man's Uncle Ben. He just does good because it's right. It's fights injustice because it's kind, because he's a good person. Is just something like really optimistically escapism about that, which I love. It's trying to. Yeah, and of course there are also cool monsters, aliens, and spaceships and stuff on top of that, but which is also cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the next question before I end up ranting about this for the next hour. If I could spend a day with any of the characters I voice, who would it be and why? From Crystal Shores, who's in the chat right now. Hi, Crystal. Uh, I s- hmm. I suppose it would be cool to spend a day with William, because if you ignore the fact that he's a vampire, he can't go out in the day. If you ignore that fact, I suppose it'd be quite fun to spend a day with him. Yeah. I suppose also maybe Fenrir as well. Yeah, yeah. I'd probably go spend the day with. If out of all of my characters, I'd probably spend it with William. What type of music do I like? You probably wouldn't guess this from the shy, stuttery thing that I am right now. Who keeps falling over his words. But I really like power metal, which is sort of a lighter. It's a, it's a lighter, more. It's one of the lighter, more. It's one of the lighter, more melodic types of metal. Yeah. Crystal's also asked what video games do I like, which I answered earlier. RPGs like the Dragon Age trilogy and Skyrim, as well as strategy games. Uh, do I do art? I do not do. I'm assuming. I'm assuming you mean like drawing art and stuff, because I would consider this channel art, but in terms of like drawing art and stuff, I do not do art. I think I tweeted. I think it was about a week ago. I tweeted a drawing of Giorno I did, and it just looks awful. I do not have the patience to draw anything that looks good. Uh, uh, yeah, I do not art. I do not. I don't draw or anything. Who's my favorite Doctor? I actually have three answers for this. Yeah, yes, Bonnie, I do listen to Power Wolf. I do listen to Power Wolf. Thank you for. Uh, it's okay that you're late. It means enough to me that you've joined at all. It's all. Thank you for coming. But yeah, I do listen to Power Wolf. My favorite power metal band though would be at the moment would be Glory Hammer. The Glory Hammer just strikes the right balance of not taking itself too seriously, while also taking its, while not just being outright parody. Just hits the right balance for me. Glory Hammer does, as well as the fact they tell stories over the course of their albums, which are great. But yeah, who's my favorite Doctor? I have three answers for who my favorite Doctor is, which are the Seventh Doctor, who I don't really like the Seventh Doctor. I'm trying to think of a way to differentiate like how I like these the first two of these without sounding like I'm saying I don't without sounding like I'm talking about the like without I'm not when I say this just note when I say this I'm not talking about the actor, I'm talking about the character. I love Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester McCoy is great, but the Seventh Doctor, uh, the Seventh Doctor's an asshole. But I really love the Seventh Doctor from a storytelling perspective. I really like the Seventh Doctor from a storytelling perspective because he's he's got so many just undoctorish tendencies that you don't see in the other Doctors, and like he's especially in like expanded universe stuff. He's he's the Seventh Doctor is like I'm trying to think of a way to explain it without sounding like the Seventh Doctor is like a chess master. He like plays, like, he uses people as pawns. He's such an asshole, but I love that from a writing perspective because it's like forces so much juicy character drama with the companions, and it's great. Uh, the Doctor, I would say I like most as a person though. Who's my favorite Doctor in that regard would be the Eighth Doctor. Uh, who's a lot kinder than the Seventh Doctor. The Eighth Doctor is great, and I really wish the Eighth Doctor got a proper series. And the third answer to my favorite Doctor, which it is it, my third answer to that would be the Tenth Doctor, which uh, if I was talking to people who in the Doctor Who fandom, I'd make the distinction of saying he's not my favorite Doctor, but he is my Doctor, which uh, I don't think is a distinction that makes sense to people who didn't grow up with the show. The Tenth Doctor, like basically, when I say he's my Doctor, the Tenth Doctor is my Doctor. I mean that he's the one I grew up with. He's the like when I think he's the one that when I think the Doctor, I think the like, when someone just says the Doctor without specifying a version, I think of the Tenth Doctor. Uh, he's the one I grew up with. He's the one I pretended to be on the school playground. He's the he's when I was yeah. I'm glad you understand what I meant about the Seventh Doctor, Bonnie. The Seventh Doctor is a terrible person, but he's really good for storytelling. He's terrible. But yeah, the Tenth Doctor is David Tennant. Yeah, he's the one I grew up with. He's the one I pretended to be on the school playground. He's the one that I imagine when someone just says the Doctor without uh, saying him. Back during the Tenth Doctor era, right now when I think of like the current Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, I still think the 13th Doctor. When the 12th Doctor was the current Doctor, I'd think of him as the 12th Doctor. But when the 10th Doctor, during the 10th Doctor era, he was just like David Tennant's the 10th Doctor was just the Doctor to me. Uh, I, I could go on about this distinction of why I love of like for so long, but I think you get the idea now. Yeah, he's the one I grew up with. He's basically the one who defined the character of the Doctor for me. I think you get the idea now. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Uh, yeah. If I could, we've already had the collaborate with any other ASM artist question. Uh, We've already had the if I could collaborate with any other ASM artist question. What's my favorite movie? My favorite movie. Do, 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 do. Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. Uh, I know. Yeah, I prefer the the last prequel to any of the original trilogy. I know. Deal with it. Deal with it. Uh, uh, and thank you for congratulating me, Crystal. I've got another question from Evil Sea Cow, which is, what do I like the most when voicing the characters? Which, I suppose my favorite part of voicing the characters is like doing a few different like thinking of different thinking of different ways to uh, like trying out different ways of saying the lines, and then just seeing which one feels the most like feels the most right for it. Like you can put different emphasis on parts of like the different parts of the sentence, uh, and I suppose my favorite part is just like figuring out what way of saying it sounds the best. Uh, yeah, and finally a few questions from Towuga. Will I continue the Wolf's Shadow series? That is absolutely yes. Absolutely will continue Wolf's Shadow. Eris, who writes it, is on break at the moment, so I don't know when the next part will be. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish that series. Do I like anime? I, I, I do like anime, but I haven't really watched. There are a lot of big anime shows that I haven't really watched yet. Like a lot of yeah, there are a lot of anime that I haven't really like a lot of big anime that I haven't really got round to yet. I haven't watched My Hero Academia. I haven't watched Attack on Titan. Titan. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul or anything. I haven't. Like, there are a lot of massive anime out there that I just haven't got round to yet. I only very recently got round to Hunter x Hunter. Very recently. So, uh, yeah, I do like anime, but I haven't really watched a lot of it. Uh, do I like to read? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. I like sci-fi books and fantasy. Why did I start the channel? Because it looked fun. That I don't really have a deep reason behind why I started it other than it looked fun. Uh, and what inspires me? I haven't seen Food Wars. No, I haven't. Uh, I haven't seen Food Wars. Uh, I've got an IRL friend who keeps recommending shows to me, but he recommends them to me so fast that like I can't like get round to all of his recommendations. I'll ask him for like one recommendation for me to watch, and then he'll send me like a list of 20 shows, which it's like, oh, okay, thank you. I can only watch one show, but thank you for the list of 20. It's uh, yeah. Uh, yeah, and final question in the Discord channel is what inspires me, which again, Kota asked me. It's a massive list. It really is. I take inspiration from books I've read, from uh, basically a funnel, basically everything. Books I've read, TV shows I've watched, one particular thing I like to do when building daydreams is one particular thing I like to do when one particular thing I like to do when building daydreams is just take what I thought a show was going to be about, and then just add that to this massive pre-existing daydream universe. Uh, Especially when a show is completely different from what I thought it was going to be about. So I take the idea that I thought it was going to be about, and then I just funnel that into this massive pre-existing daydream, the daydream universe that I based the Vampire Hunter series on is a massive mess, because it's basically every genre at once. uh, it's basically every genre at once. And that hasn't really reflected in when I've been adapting it into audio, because I want it to make sense, basically. So I've only really adapted like this tiny portion of it. When the day, I'm going on a massive rant about the Daydream universe when I should just be finishing answering this question. But basically, I funnel basically everything I've read, TV shows, into this Daydream universe, and then that's what I write based on. Basically that. So basically, everything inspires me. That gets funneled into the Daydream, and then the Daydream gets sliced up and converted into audios. So that's the last question on the Discord channel. So if there's any questions that the chat wants to ask, I'll answer those now. Hi Stillborn. I've got to ramble about something until the stream catches up with when I finished answering the Discord channel's questions. So I've got to think of something to talk about while I wait. Suppose I could continue rambling about this massive daydream universe that I slice up and write into the Vampire Hunter series. Yeah, so that thing's basically every genre that's ever what do I think about? Thank you, Inkwell. More questions. What do I think about Brave? I really like Brave. It's not my favorite Pixar movie, but I really do like Brave. It's pretty good. Yeah, I really like Brave. Thank you and goodbye, Crystal. Thank you and goodbye, Crystal. It's been a while since I've watched Brave. Thank you, Maddie. You missed me answering your questions on the Discord channel, I'm afraid. But thank you for joining. But yeah, it's been a while since I've watched Brave, so I can't really think of anything particularly in detail to say about it. But I did really enjoy Brave. Thank you, Angel. So yeah, red or green? Red apples. Red apples are better. Angel's just joined the server. I'll welcome her properly when. Yeah, I'd say Merida's my favorite. I don't really think of the Disney princesses often, but yeah, I would say she's my favorite as well. Uh, a whole bunch of people have just joined as I've finished answering all the questions, and we're in this awkward state of uh, do we finish or do we continue with questions in the chat? Uh, uh, which is a shame because a whole bunch of people did just join. Uh, so, uh, uh, if that's really everything, we're getting into the. There's not really a lot of questions going around in chat, so I think I'll end the stream here. So goodbye, I guess. Uh, yeah, goodbye, I guess. And if you want to talk to me more, the link to my Discord server is in the description. And basically any links you can contact me. Any way, every way you can possibly contact me is in the description. Bye everyone. Sorry people who just sorry the massive amount of people who just joined, but we are just finishing up. So goodbye.